Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. WWE legend Mark Henry spoke about Cody Rhodes' promo on SmackDown. The star was in action on the Blue brand this week. Cody Rhodes fell victim to a vicious attack by Drew McIntyre this week. However, he showed up again and prevented Bronson Reed from advancing in the last time is now tournament. He then cut a scathing promo on The Vision and Paul Heyman. This week on the Busted Open podcast, Mark Henry said that Cody's promo stood out during the entire show. He felt the undisputed WWE champion made a great point when he said that he would cut down every Paul Heyman guy that stood in front of him. Mark also explained that Dusty Rhodes was the brains behind the War Games match, and it was indeed destiny that Cody would have an advantage in this type of showdown. At this year's Survivor Series, Cody Rhodes will be walking into another War Games match. He will be teaming up with CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and the Usos against the formidable team of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. It will be interesting to see if the babyfaces can come up with the win in this star-studded matchup. Cody Rhodes has delivered some unforgettable promos throughout his WWE career, but his latest verbal assault on SmackDown may go down as one of the most cutting segments he has produced since returning to the company. The American Nightmare has been building a reputation for speaking with a level of authenticity that blurs the line between character and reality, and this week he crossed a threshold that immediately sent shockwaves across the WWE universe. His target, his intent, and the emotional weight of his words prompted widespread reactions online. But one WWE veteran went a step further by admitting that the verbal attack hit hard in a way few segments do today. What happened on SmackDown was more than a promo. It felt like a personal statement that resonated far beyond the ring. The segment earned instant traction as Rhodes stepped into the spotlight with a presence that seemed heavier than usual. His tone was sharper, his posture controlled, and every line he delivered was timed with surgical precision. The WWE Universe could sense from the moment he picked up the microphone that something different was coming. The crowd was loud, but Rhodes was louder in substance. He moved with purpose and spoke with intent, slicing through his opponent with honesty, brutal accuracy, and a level of emotional depth that made the confrontation feel painfully real. The veteran who later praised the promo noted that Rhodes didn't rely on theatrics or exaggeration. He simply exposed truths that had been waiting to erupt. WWE has long thrived on the art of the promo. Legends like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, CM Punk, and Edge built storied legacies on their ability to speak with authenticity and intensity. But Rhodes showcased something that struck the perfect balance between classic WWE bravado and modern storytelling. He didn't shout or rant. Instead, he dissected his rival piece by piece, speaking with the restraint of someone who knows the power of silence just as much as the impact of words. With every line, he tightened the emotional pressure, and by the end of the segment, the crowd was erupting in reactions that captured the magnitude of what had just unfolded. It wasn't just cutting. It was calculated, precise, and brutally effective. The WWE veteran who responded to the moment wasted no time expressing his feelings. During a live conversation on his podcast, he admitted openly that Rhodes' promo struck him in a way he didn't expect. The veteran said, "That hit me hard," acknowledging that the performance reminded him of the days when promos weren't simply filler. They were the lifeblood of feuds. He praised Rhodes for his commitment to authenticity and for being willing to step beyond generic insults to deliver something deeply personal and emotionally powerful. According to him, this is the type of promo that elevates a rivalry to a new level and draws fans deeper into the story. The veteran pointed out that Rhodes has always excelled in storytelling, but the SmackDown segment proved he has reached a new stage in his character evolution. The passion in his voice wasn't forced, and the emotional control he displayed added depth that made the verbal assault far more intimidating than any physical attack. Rhodes has described promos as opportunities to reveal truths that can only be expressed in moments of vulnerability. And this week, he tapped into that philosophy with precision. He spoke as a man with a mission, not as a character reading scripted lines. This authenticity is what the veteran praised most, noting that the best promos are those that reflect the performer's core identity. Fan reactions have been particularly intense, with social media erupting minutes after the segment aired. Many fans noted that they could feel the promo through the screen, describing the moment as one of Rhodes' finest verbal performances. Others suggested the segment should be studied by upcoming talent, highlighting how Rhodes used timing, tone, and emotional depth to command the entire arena. WWE audiences are sensitive to authenticity, and the crowd's reaction demonstrated their appreciation for a promo that clearly came from a real place. They believed what Rhodes was saying because he believed it himself. The context of the feud only amplified the impact of his words. The rivalry has been simmering with unresolved tension, silent grudges, and emotional stakes that Rhodes has been carrying for weeks. When he finally decided to speak openly, he did so without hesitation and without pulling any punches. He acknowledged the failures, insecurities, and weaknesses of his opponent with a rawness that surprised the WWE universe. The veteran who praised him explained that very few performers today have the ability to hit so deeply without resorting to shock value. Rhodes relied solely on the emotional truth of the rivalry, and that is what made the promo so effective. Backstage reports suggest that the segment had the locker room buzzing as well. It's rare for a promo to generate internal conversation so quickly, but Rhodes' performance prompted talent to discuss how he managed to elevate the feud with a single segment. Several younger wrestlers were reportedly inspired by the way Rhodes carried himself, noting the subtle power of measured tone and emotional intention. Those backstage who understand the psychological art of promo delivery were particularly impressed, recognizing that Rhodes has reached a level where his words carry the weight of genuine leadership. The WWE veteran who praised Rhodes, though referring to his personal emotional reaction, also emphasized the broader influence of such promos. In his view, this is the type of segment that reminds fans why WWE storytelling is unique. Wrestling narratives thrive when they tap into universal human emotions: betrayal, ambition, jealousy, pride, redemption, and Rhodes managed to capture all of those elements in one night. The veteran described the promo as a wake-up call to the roster, proof that WWE's greatest stories are told not just through matches but through the emotional depth of its performers. Rhodes' message was also a reminder of his journey. Since returning to WWE, he has consistently leaned into the emotional legacy of his father, Dusty Rhodes, whose promos remain some of the most iconic in wrestling history. Many fans noted that they could feel that legacy in Cody's delivery. The same raw honesty, the same connection to the audience, and the same willingness to reveal vulnerability all shined through. The veteran praised Rhodes for carrying forward the storytelling spirit Dusty embodied, while simultaneously creating his own blueprint. It wasn't an imitation of the past, it was an evolution. The promo's aftermath has created a new layer of anticipation heading into the next chapter of the feud. Fans are eager to see how Rhodes' rival responds, and whether the emotional damage inflicted on SmackDown will escalate tensions further. As the storyline moves forward, this moment will likely be viewed as the turning point that intensified the rivalry and elevated both performers involved. The veteran highlighted that one of the strongest elements of Rhodes' promo was its ability to raise the stakes organically. Nothing felt forced, everything felt earned. This is not the first time Rhodes has delivered a devastating promo, but the veteran's emotional reaction underscores just how unique this one was. The combination of emotional honesty, professional precision, and psychological sharpness created a storm of storytelling that resonated deeply. Fans have long appreciated Rhodes' willingness to push boundaries. But this week he shattered expectations by cutting so deeply that even seasoned professionals felt the impact. The timing of the promo also played a major role in its effectiveness. With major events approaching and the storyline reaching a critical peak, Rhodes chose the perfect moment to unleash a message that would shift the narrative. Rather than waiting for a pay-per-view or a contract signing, he delivered his verbal strike when fans least expected it. This element of surprise amplified the emotional effect, both in the arena and in the wrestling community. The veteran noted that unpredictability is one of the most powerful tools a performer can use, and Rhodes executed it flawlessly. Moving forward, WWE may seize on this reaction to push the feud into even more intense territory. The storyline now carries an emotional gravitas that cannot be ignored, and Rhodes' performance has set a new standard for what modern WWE promos can achieve. The veteran made it clear that segments like this are rare, but when they happen, they become moments fans remember for years. They become promotional milestones that define eras, establish legacies, and inspire future generations of talent. Rhodes has now added another such milestone to his resume. For Rhodes himself, the promo may represent a defining moment in his SmackDown run. His return to WWE was already marked by passion and determination, but his growth as a performer has been undeniable. He no longer feels like a man chasing a dream. He feels like a man controlling his destiny. This latest verbal assault demonstrated his ability to lead the narrative, control the emotional pulse of a feud, and captivate the WWE Universe in a way few can. The veteran's praise was not simply a compliment. It was recognition of Rhodes' mastery of the craft. The emotional depth of the segment will likely remain a highlight of the current storyline, and fans continue to dissect the promo line by line. Social media remains flooded with supporters analyzing the smallest details, from Rhodes' facial expressions to the cadence of his delivery. Many fans pointed out that the silence between certain lines was just as powerful as the words themselves, reinforcing the idea that Rhodes is now operating at a level of mastery that few performers ever reach. With anticipation building for the next episode of SmackDown, the wrestling world is eager to see how Rhodes' rival processes the verbal devastation he endured. Will he respond with equal emotional force? Will the tension escalate into physical retaliation? Or will Rhodes' psychological advantage shape the feud moving forward? The answers to these questions will determine the future direction of the storyline, but one thing remains certain: the promo has changed everything. The WWE veteran's emotional reaction reflects a sentiment shared by many. Cody Rhodes delivered something timeless, something raw, something powerful. A moment that cuts through scripted television and lands directly in the realm of genuine, unforgettable storytelling. The veteran's words, "That hit me hard," captured what countless fans felt while watching the segment, the sense that they had witnessed something real, something rare, something that will be remembered long after the feud is over. SmackDown may feature many spectacular moments, but it is promos like this that define the heart of WWE. Cody Rhodes stepped into the spotlight and proved once again that he is not just a performer. He is a storyteller. And in one unforgettable night, he delivered a message that resonated across generations, earning the respect of veterans, the admiration of fans, and a place in the ever-evolving legacy of WWE's greatest promo artists. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.